What's up, YouTube, and welcome back. Well, haven't been doing too much car stuff, but been doing a lot of powder coating. As you can tell, the booth is pretty dirty, and so is the top of the blaster and everything else in the shop. Well, I made another big purchase. If you guys watch my shorts or my TikToks or any other social media, I guess, I ended up finding on Marketplace a big oven. This one is 4 foot by 4 foot by 5 foot tall. It's got heating elements, your fan, your lights, temperature control, and a timer. This thing is actually pretty cool. Actually, I can show you guys real quick. Well, it's kind of just temporarily, it's on dollies if you notice, but I'm running 240 to the other side of the shop because I have a TIG welder now. But the oven is gonna come over here in the powder room. I'm trying to lay it out better right now because I don't like where the air compressor is. This is all garbage storage. That's gonna get ripped out. The compressor is gonna go over here. I should build this motor. This is a B18 B something, I think. It's a stock LS motor out of a Integra. I got that because I want to put that in the CRX. But our blaster, well, I'm getting all sidetracked. So our 240, I ended up running its own breaker that the big oven is running off right now. I actually messed up a couple weeks ago. I was doing a hitch for somebody and thought I shut the little oven off, and I didn't. And the part sat in there for like 20 hours after it was cured. So I kind of need to put a light or something, like something that's really bright so it gets your attention, hey, the oven is on, other than just the little displays. So we got this heating up right now just to show you guys how it works. It's 53, 55 degrees in there right now. This thing gets up to temperature in about 30 minutes, which is crazy for the size of it compared to my little oven. But this one has 4 elements in it. They're not hot yet, but they're not gonna get hot, dumbass. Now they will. Silly Steve. I mean, I guess I'll let it run for a couple minutes and the elements should heat up. But yeah, it's kind of cool. It's got the fan on here that circulates. Well, the fan is on top and it pulls from the bottom on the back up, pushes back down. It's kind of cool. It's got lights. So light there, the other one's burned out. This is actually already kicking off heat. I mean, yeah, heat's climbing, so. Kind of thought they'd be glowing by now. Okay. Now it's just got some heat in her. Nice toasty in here. But this one has 4 elements. Got different hangers in there for the racks. I don't know if I like these racks. I wish they were up higher, especially for the front and the back one. These are kind of distorted because that metal is not very strong. So I'm probably going to be taking these out and making some out of angle iron and plate steel because I would hate to have a 4-wheeler frame or something heavy in there. Hangers give out, so that would be really bad. It's already up to 100 degrees in there, and it's literally only about a few minutes. The other day I ran this, it was 65 degrees in here. In about 3 minutes, it rose 100 degrees, which I thought was crazy because, like I said, this one does not get that hot that fast. But that's in a temporary spot. I thought about selling it, but I'm thinking about modifying it because that one's not as big as I want. I want to be able to do track bars and stuff like that, and some of those go all the way up to like 80 inches. That would be, what, 7 foot or something? I want to be able to do track bars, so I'm probably going to keep that. I still like that oven. I do a lot of smaller batch stuff, so I'm not going to run the big oven all the time. But in the powder room, I built this temporary wall. My original plan was I was going to give the back half to my wife, and she was going to be able to use storage or arts and crafts or whatever, an office area. Well, my powder operation grew a lot more than I thought it would, so this is all mine, and I'm going to build her or buy her a shed. But this is a blank canvas right now. I'm about to go up to self-serve. I got to buy some more joist hangers or whatever you want to call them. Buy 2x4s, buy 2 sheets of OSB. Today I bought some black paint. I'm gonna paint the ceiling black. Eventually out here, this is all gonna be 8-foot ceiling too. I'm gonna paint all this black. I'm gonna get hex lights. I gotta figure out what color I'm gonna do the walls. I don't know if I'm gonna keep this oven. That's also nice because when I do small parts, that heats up really fast for outgassing, which is really nice because, like I said, the big oven takes a while. It's nice because the big oven is, I keep on calling it a big oven. A medium oven, I guess. But this one is just convenient because, like, it's easy to put stuff in and out. It's right here next to my spray booth. And I do like it. I don't care for the door, but that is a pretty nice setup to have. I'm not sure on the spray booth, but I'm probably gonna cut 2 more holes in the back, put 2 more box fans, or figure out a bigger fan I can get because I literally get powder everywhere. I've been doing pink the last couple days and literally everything is covered in powder. So needs modification. There's another mouse in there. Check this out. Some sort of critter. Probably like, what the heck is going on? You guys are probably tired of me rambling on. I'm gonna hit the lumber yard real quick, buy the lumber I need. So I get back here, start working on this, and we'll be right back. Air trip up to self-serve. I bought a couple hangers. I bought 5 2x4s, 2 sheets of OSB. So I got all my hangers up there. I'm gonna go cut the 2x4s and we will start hanging those. So got all of our joists up. I think I'm gonna lay the OSB this way. I think it's just under 7 feet. And that's gonna be a tomorrow project because, as you can tell, it's nighttime. But that light's gonna be coming down. I'm just gonna put that wire up on top of the ceiling for now because I did order hex lights for in here and I ordered black paint. I'm gonna get the OSB up tomorrow and get that painted black so that way it dries. I'm not sure how long the hex lights are gonna take to get here, but we gotta figure out what color we're gonna paint this room. Do I want a dark color or a bright color? The main reason for putting the blaster over here is 1, it's kind of in the way out here, and 2, if you sandblast, you know that that light makes it hard to see in there. So having this over in its own room where I can shut the lights on and off is gonna make a world of difference on being able to see in there to blast. The other major reason that I'm working on my powder coat room is obviously right now it's all open. I don't have an efficient way to heat this. So my plan is obviously back here's gonna be my blaster. And then I'm probably gonna build another wall out here. I don't know if it'll be before the window, after the window, up against the fuse panel, but this is all gonna be closed in. And that way, from my big powder coat oven I got, that should let off enough heat where it'll actually maintain temperature in there when I'm actually out here working. I get like one of those electric heaters. I get a buddy heater, something small should actually be able to keep that done. Eventually, this whole ceiling, I'm gonna get all the spray foam because obviously I don't just work in here. I work out in the main part of my shop, which I do have my wood burner, and I also have a torpedo heater over there. So when we do work on this in the wintertime, we can get it decently warm, but you know, the old slider doors, they don't hold heat very well. So in the wintertime, I try to put stuff along the bottom, if it's cardboard or boards or whatever, but I try to keep these kind of closed off because when we get a certain wind, it'll actually push snow in here and drift. And same thing with the other door over here. This one's not as bad because it's a lot closer to the ground, but I do get snow in here and I would like to not get snow in here. Well, out here again, we got our ceiling up. A light that I planned on getting rid of because I don't use is coming in handy right now. I just picked up, well, I can't say I just picked it up. I just found paint roller and stuff. I got some flat black paint that we're gonna go ahead and get that ceiling painted. I just checked my tracking number. My hex lights will be here tomorrow. So with it being, I don't know, it's like 45, 50 degrees out maybe. Gonna hurry up, get that knocked out, painted. Not this, because this isn't done, but and go ahead, get the ceiling painted. I'm trying to figure out what I should do for wall color. I'm almost thinking about doing gray because that's what I was doing on the other side of the shop, but obviously my powder coat room is not the other side of my shop. So I don't know if I should do a lighter color or darker color, I'm not sure. Go ahead, drop a comment. I'm not gonna paint this now, but I wanna see what you guys think. I think it's gonna look really good with the black ceiling and hex lighting. It's gonna look good. I would kind of like to freshen up the sandblaster and the vacuum system, get that looking good. I mean, they say fake it till you make it. If I make everything look good, maybe that'll bring business. It'll make me happy, looking good. But yeah, let's get some paint done. Well, there you guys have it. The ceiling is painted. I'm trying to figure out what color I want the walls because bare cinder block looks like crap. I just made a TikTok and I'm gonna post that up way before this video goes up, asking what color people think would look good. Part of me thinks that, what's it called? Part of me was thinking about painting the walls black. I think it would give it a nice sleek look to it. And then maybe paint the sandblaster some bright in-your-face color. But yeah, I would say that is it for tonight. Later on, I might try to get some self-leveling because there's a bunch of pitting in the floor, and probably not epoxy, but latex paint the floor just to make it look better. They say fake it till you make it. Hopefully having a nice shop will make me successful. I don't know, probably not, but it'll make me feel better. I'm just a little OCD, and I actually had somebody reach out to me on my marketplace ad. Never dealt with powder coating before. He was asking me questions, but the picture that he seen in my ad, the part was sitting on the oven, the kitchen oven. I forgot what exactly I said, but he said that he was skeptical about reaching out to somebody on Marketplace doing powder coating out of his garage in a kitchen oven. That is when I reassured him it's not the oven I use. Because it's a new oven, a little more professional. But I still haven't used that because I haven't had a big enough project. I still have been using this. Over the weekend, I did use the kitchen oven just because I did some little bullet antennas. I wasn't gonna wait until I had to heat up the big oven, so I said kitchen oven it is. It was literally 2 little antennas that big, so it would have been kind of a waste to use the big oven. I mean, medium. I keep on calling my old powder coating oven the big one when it's not, because in fact it's a medium one. I mean, medium. Even though the big one still isn't as big as I want, but oops, it's a lot bigger than the old one. But hopefully I can make some progress on this. Get these lights knocked out this weekend, possibly get wall color picked out, get this moved over there, and then figure out, I don't know. I'm almost thinking about moving this shelf up against that wall. That's all garbage. I should put that light somewhere safe. The lockers will probably also get moved. I'm not using them. I'm a hoarder, and they were free, so I got 2 sets of lockers. I guess this is it for tonight. So I got to clean up my paint mess. And I say I'll be back tomorrow, but I'll be back right now. Okay, so our hexagon lights showed up, so now we get to figure these out. So on TikTok, I think these were like 50 bucks. You got all your lights, your 3 connectors, your corners, everything just plugs into the ends. So we're gonna go ahead and figure out which way they gotta be plugged in. I might have underestimated, I guess, how big the hex lights are. So I did a pre-assembly. This is a 5 light kit, and I did 2 and 2, and I was gonna connect them out here when I put them up. If you can tell, that's up against the wall, that's up against the wall. My connector piece is not gonna fit in there. Yeah, so I'm gonna tear this side apart and go with, what's it called? Just gonna do a 3 light and put that up here on the ceiling. That'll fill it in pretty good. I think 2 lights is probably sufficient enough, but I think 3 would just look cooler. Got a little bit more time today, just ran up to self-serve, bought some paint, bought a brand new roller. We're gonna go with white on the walls. gonna take my broom real quick. I'm gonna brush off any spider webs and stuff. And then I'm gonna run a line of tape around the black ceiling. So that way, if I do bump up there with the roller, I'm not gonna mess up the ceiling. And let's get this knocked out. So we got our border of tape up there. That way I don't get white on the ceiling, because I would hate to have to switch colors and go back and fix the ceiling. But here is the progress so far. Kind of slow and time consuming using a roller. When I did the other part of the shop, I did that in I forgot what it's called, but it's a gray color. That turned out really good. I started out with the roller, and then my buddy that does home remodeling, he ended up letting me borrow a paint sprayer, which 10 times faster than the roller. Looks way better, but sucks down a lot of paint. To me, it's not really worth it. This is only a 7x7 room maybe. I'm just gonna keep on going at it. I think I might have to go through and do a second coat. I'm not 100% sure. If you guys paid attention, right here, I had a big spot of black that I did. It's not showing through as much as I thought it would, but then again, this is a better paint that I'm using, so go ahead and knock the rest of this out. So really happy with the way this is turning out. Being fresh cinder block, obviously it's gonna suck up a lot of paint. It is so much brighter in this room now. So this wall has 2 coats I just finished. This wall just still has 1 coat. I'm gonna call it a night because I got other stuff I gotta do. So I'm gonna get cleaned up. Tomorrow probably, I'm gonna work on getting this slid over and figure out what else has gotta be done, but I'm really happy with the way this is turning out. So stay tuned. These dollies from Harbor Freight. I just took a Jackie and Spencer. I jacked it up by this platform. Did a dolly there. I lifted up the back and had Spencer slide that one under. So that way I can spin this around and come through this opening and put it over there. So the powder coat room looks a little different now with the sandblaster moved. And the other room also looks a little different. Sandblaster takes up quite a bit of the room. I got like that much clearance when I actually open up the lid. So I ended up putting my dust collector back here. The light that I gotta modify, I gotta get rid of the fluorescent bullcrap and go with LED. Here's a pot blaster. I'm gonna try to modify this. Instead of being siphon feed, it's gonna be a pot blaster, but like I said, that's gotta be modified. This part of the renovation is done. Next, what needs to happen is right here, I have to build a ceiling. I gotta go buy material for that. And then after that's done, I gotta order more hex lights too. But get the ceiling done over here. Finish off the wall. I'm probably gonna do OSB or barn steel or something. And then my rack that's got all my powders and stuff on it is gonna go up against this wall. My big oven that I still have to move is gonna go right here between the window and the wall. However that song goes. Also, air compressor is gonna go over there where that closet thing is. That's gotta be taken out. And then I'm gonna have to redo all my air lines, because when my sandblaster sat right here, I have a line comes up, over, down, and then that was originally for the sandblaster, but I ended up leaving it permanently on my powder coat gun. This is the RC1. Pretty good little budget gun. But what I do is I have another line that I normally use for my blowgun, but I also take this line off and use it on the sandblaster. But the sandblaster itself, I'm gonna probably do a ball valve or something. I don't know, I might leave this wall here. I don't know yet. But I wanna have a ball valve close because all my fittings do leak on here and I don't really feel like replacing them. I always keep my tank shut off, but I might put a ball valve over here, and then this would be on its own dedicated line because I'm starting to get a lot of lines. I would like to hard plumb everything. Do galvanized hard pipe. I think that's what people use. Would go along the wall, do a drop there, connect the sandblaster, do a drop wherever my powder booth is gonna go, or 2 drops, one for the powder coat gun, one for the blowgun. I kind of have an idea of what I'm doing for sandblasting, or not sandblasting, but powder coating. But this is a lot of trial and error right now, the way I want to get my shop actually set up. I'm gonna go ahead and try to make this as professional as I can. It's gonna look really nice with all the walls painted, ceiling painted, hex lights, and eventually I'm probably gonna paint my equipment like the sandblaster. The big oven I might paint, the air compressor. I wanna put my logo in here somewhere. I really like my CC Garage logo, but obviously this is a completely different branch. This is SV Powder Coating. There is a Facebook page if you guys want to check that out. There's more on my Facebook page than I actually post on YouTube. Also TikTok, I do a lot of my powder coating stuff. So I guess we're gonna call this the end of this video, we'll do the end of this video. I will do a part 2, possibly part 3 when I do my wall. I'm gonna do electrical, plumbing, all that stuff. So stay tuned. I don't want to keep this video too long, so see you on the next one.